See ya. Wake up and rise, open your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental Wellness Monday, work it out Wednesday, pay it forward Friday, we're seizing the day. Digital finance, underneath a love, serving food to what those store, rising as the beat and it, Eastern on P2GTV. Breakfast with the Thomases, come eat with me.
All right. Hey.
It's Friday. It's Friday. Hey.
It's absolutely Friday. Loving it. Loving y'all. How we doing, family? It's Breakfast with the Thomases Friday. I'm your girl, Ruby T. We got some craziness happening on this side, but I'm fixing it right now.
There's a couple crazy things happening.
I'm loving it. It's just always, it's always eventful. Something that's going on, happening. We're going to talk about it, y'all. Not only are we going to talk about it, but we are going to give you access. Today is Pay It Forward Friday. Right. And one thing I love about every day, there's something to be gotten, had, and acquired for yourself, but do you know how to use it? Now,
yes, indeed.
That's the thing. So some of y'all, this is payday. For some of y'all, this is Payday Friday. And what do you do on Payday Friday? Can make the difference of how next week and every day after turns out. So let's get a little information, get a little activation.
Hopefully you don't give everybody what you made this week and forget about you. That's the first thing. Don't forget about you this week. One of the things that we talk about.
Mr. Thomas.
Huh?
We'll talk about that afterwards.
All right. Pay yourself first.
Information, then education.
Well, today we're going to be talking about, today's conversation is about, guys, a lot of you may know Governor Sanders has been in the news over the last couple of weeks, and he's been talking about gold and silver and how it's going to affect people. He tried to come to New York. He came up for the Democratic conference and talked about gold and silver. Well, one of the things you're going to hear about today is what he's doing in his current state. And I want you guys to pay attention. And for those of you who are interested in that kind of, put your headgear on, because what happens in one state tends to transcend the other states.
So, eventually, it makes it around.
Yeah. So get your ears on, get your pen ready, and get ready. Let's see. Let's bring it to the stage.
All right.
Okay, sounds up.
So there's something happening in Florida that shouldn't make any sense. Governor Ron DeSantis signed legislation allowing certain gold and silver to be used as legal tender. And if all goes well, it will be live in the next few weeks. But this is a big deal, as gold has not been used in everyday Americans' lives for generations. In fact, most people would have no idea how to go about using it, which raises the obvious question. If America has spent the last 100 years moving away from gold, why are states suddenly moving back towards it? And in order to answer that, we have to go back to 1933. The United States financial system was on the brink of collapse. The Great Depression had decimated job opportunities. Banks were failing thousands at a time. And in order to stabilize the system, President Roosevelt ordered the confiscation or repatriation of Americans' gold, forcing Americans to turn in their gold under the threat of fines or even jail time. It was then that gold moved from the hands of the public into the hands of the government. The dollar was devalued and Americans were forced into a system that was built on paper, debt, and credit. And for the last century, the country has moved in one direction, away from gold, which is why what's happening today caught my attention. Earlier this year, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed legislation allowing certain gold and silver to be used in everyday transactions, authorizing businesses to accept and transact in precious metals, making Florida the largest state to build a framework for everyday use of gold and silver in transactions.
The borrowing, printing, and spending is likely to continue, at least for the short term. So the bill I'm going to sign today is legislation that is going to allow Florida to recognize gold and silver as legal tender in our state.
And tucked away inside that signing was a reference to Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution, a clause which states that no state shall make anything other than gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts.
We have the ability to do that under the federal Constitution. We are the first large state to step up and to get this done. And this is right out of the Constitution of the United States. So this legislation will authorize money services business like check cashers or PayPal to transmit and accept payment in gold and silver. That means these precious metals can start functioning like real currency again.
Now, most Americans have never heard of that clause, and there's a reason for that, which we'll get to. But first, let's break down what this Florida law actually entails. Nobody is forced to do anything. Businesses don't have to accept gold and silver. You don't have to spend your gold and silver. At this point in time, everything is completely voluntary on both sides. But what the law does do is it gives formal legal standing to both gold and silver in the state of Florida, meaning that they're recognized as legitimate money for settling debts. Now, don't get me started on how absurd that is, that this currency backed by nothing other than the faith and trust of the U.S. government is considered money in our system, and this needs a new law to be considered money, but that's a tangent for another day. But back to the law. So high quality pure gold and silver are what qualifies, but what most people are mistaking about the way the system works is that you're probably not going to walk into a business and give them a silver round in exchange for whatever you're buying. The system primarily is going to be set up to be digital. Your metals would sit in a vault and you would be issued an electronic card like a debit card that would be backed by the price of your gold and silver. And for people out there who are already holding gold and silver, which I'm assuming is a lot of you, there's another big win here, which is that sales tax could be eliminated on any gold and silver that qualifies. That is a massive victory. One question I hear all the time from ITM clients and viewers is, how do I actually use my gold and silver? And what Florida's doing that's so interesting is they're not just, again, recognizing gold and silver as legal standing, but they're actually creating the infrastructure, the payment rails, to allow it to be used in everyday transactions. That's a huge win for sound money advocates. So how does all this impact you? Well, this will be live on July 1st, 2026. One thing is clear, the direction we're heading is not changing, because Florida is not the first state to move forward with new sound money laws. Whether the federal government likes it or not, Florida is now joining Utah, Wyoming, Arkansas, a growing list of states that are offering different means to actually use your physical gold and silver, as well as states like Texas, who have built their own bullion depository. And what's so interesting about all of this is that the timing of this isn't happening during a period of monetary prosperity and stability. Instead, it's happening at a time during extreme turmoil. Decades of the dollar with its declining purchasing power, nearly $40 trillion in national debt, and central banks buying the most physical gold that they bought in modern history over the last 4 years. Which raises the obvious question, why now? Why are these states choosing to reintroduce gold and silver as real money? And what does that say about the money, the currency that we all are using today, and what's coming next? And this is where that constitutional clause comes back, because what the states are doing by passing these laws, which I love, is that they're challenging an idea that most Americans have never really thought about, which is the Federal Reserve note legitimate in this country? Think about this. The Federal Reserve, responsible for the Federal Reserve note, was created in 1913, yet the Constitution was written in 1787. Now, our founding fathers, they had lived through a currency collapse when the United States was first created. They tried paper currency, and it was a spectacular failure. They knew what happened when governments printed money faster than they could back it with anything of any substantial value, which is why they explicitly wrote into the Constitution that there was only one true form of money. It was gold and silver only. That's it. See, the system we have today isn't what they designed, not by a long shot. And now we have the argument showing up in state legislatures. The Florida bill that I've been talking about throughout this video, it passed unanimously. That's rare. So the question becomes less about gold and silver as legal tender, and it becomes about what does it mean when states start hedging against the monetary system that most Americans rely on for their paychecks, their savings, their retirement. What do they see about what's coming next that we don't? So let's follow the money. The central banks, I mentioned it earlier, they're buying more gold than they have in the last 50 years. These are the same institutions that are responsible for creating the currency and managing the reserves. They know better than anyone what is coming next. So what are they moving away from? They're moving away from dollars, US treasuries, a system that is collapsing, right? The dollar is the foundation of the global monetary system, and it is crumbling out from under our very eyes. 20 cents of every dollar of our taxes goes to service the debt, not to pay it down, just to service the debt. That is unsustainable. We are at a crossroads where there are only bad decisions left. And if you study history, you can see the patterns of how this ends up every single time. Print more money, devalue the currency, and let your savings erode while they inflate away the debt. See, for anyone out there who's been holding physical gold and silver, who understands what's coming next, you already know that while many people out there will say, oh, it's just an ancient relic, oh, it has no place in the current monetary system, what's happening today is a big win for those of us who have been positioning for this change. For the first time in generations, there's a serious attempt to create a framework that uses gold and silver, and it makes sense. If you think about currency resets throughout history, what happens every time a currency is reset? What happens to the price of gold, right? We always see it go up significantly, especially compared to the failing fiat currency. So if you have your gold, right, what could you do on the other side of that reset? One of your gold coins, right? That could be your property taxes. That could feed your family. It could allow you to buy assets at a far cheaper price. But if you're locked into the fiat currency, you're not going to have those options. My hope is that as more states start enacting these sound money principles, right, that we're going to see more of a movement, more of an awakening from American citizens into physical gold and silver. Now, that being said, I cannot end this video in good conscience without raising one little red flag that does sit in the back of my mind. The states are building depositories. Okay, these are state-run institutions where, again, you are supposed to turn in your physical gold and silver in exchange for a digital card that you can use to pay with. Now, the skeptic in me starts to think, what does that actually mean, right? Especially given the health of the dollar. Because again, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. In 1933, the gold moved from the hands of the public into the hands of the government, right? The justification was stability. The end result was control. So as we talk about more and more states getting on board, I just have to raise that little red flag, thinking that if this is something that you're excited about utilizing, yes, it is an incredible step in the right direction, but maybe don't put everything you have into that depository right away if you are planning on using it. Now, I personally, right, as far as where we are today, am not using my gold and silver. I'm holding onto it for dear life, because I know where we're going next in this system. And like I mentioned earlier, if you study currency resets, the dollar is only going to be worth less, and my gold and silver are only going to be worth significantly more. Throughout history, whoever holds the gold holds the power. So if you've been watching this video and you've been on the fence about buying gold and silver, or you already own gold and silver, but you have some questions or you want a second opinion about your strategy for what is coming next, call us at the number below. I'll put our phone number up there. Go ahead and give us a ring. We have the best expert analysts in the business, real people with real answers to your question. And if
All right. Let's get back into it. I'm loving it. So that was ITM Trading. You can always go to itmtrading.com if you're interested in getting more information about their program, their education program, as well as their services, because they are providers of gold and silver. In our program, because and everything comes at a different rate, y'all know that. Everyone lives at a different level. So the programs that we do we teach and educate, but we also provide gold and silver through the program called At Cost Metals. We found and vetted that program and love what they do. You can purchase at an amazing price with our group, and it's just amazing because they have a membership, they have a customership. You don't have to have a membership to purchase, but you're going to get some really comparable prices to what's on the market. I teach, so just so that you know, I teach. I refer, but I do not sell. I can only refer people to information that they then use. Y'all get that? P2G promotes. We help businesses grow from within that have the same values as we do. And our values are honesty, fairness, and legitimacy. You've got to be a legitimate business.
Yes, indeed. Please.
I'm really excited for what's going on, y'all. Woo! I don't know. I don't know if anybody watched this. Okay, I have to put up this picture because I had does anyone ever like create from the things that you think? Sometimes y'all have those epiphany thoughts. Anybody else get epiphany thoughts? And there was one I recently had, and I had to just utilize my age. I did this. This is what I'm seeing right now. This is actually for those who can't see on Clapper. You're welcome to hop. On stereo. You're welcome to hop on Clapper and take a look at what my mind has put into AI to bring back. What AI was able to create solid with my mind. This is what you're seeing. While you're seeing all the prices look like they're moving away, it's like it's being swept away. There's a tsunami coming. And not everybody is going to survive it.
You are so right.
We've been sharing this at the top of our lungs. How many of your neighbors, friends, and your community are going to survive the tsunami of financial shift that has been taking place for the last 30 years? Just 30. And if you want to count, I'm going to be honest, it's over 55 years, because it started when they took the dollar or the gold off the dollar standard. And now they're running back to gold.
You're running back to cover up.
State by state, they're running back to gold. Why is that? How much does your family have? See, stop talking about other people. My question is how much does your family have in the reality of this shift? Because it's happening. And I'm not, look, I can't, look, we ain't saying, this is not us. When I say we have been sounding the alarm, I mean that. And until you sound the alarm, guess what's going to happen? You are going to be unsafe. Just because you know and you got some, but you don't know what to do with it. You don't know how to be in this new society, in this new way of being, with a little something. It's time to train us up, y'all. We got to get trained for the new movement. And stop talking. Start walking. If we don't work, we don't pay attention to what happens when the waters, which is our finances, start pulling away from the shores. We're going to get wiped out by the tsunami. And the only ones that are going to be able to survive it are the ones who have the ships pre-built.
You know, that analogy that you use is so good, but most people don't even realize it. The tsunami she's talking about is a two-phase thing. First of all, it's the lack of the use of your dollar. The inflation is eating away, eroding away your baseline.
Come on.
You're looking at 14% on average, no matter where you live. Look at the prices on gas. Look at the prices on food.
Yes.
Look at the prices on your health insurance. Look at everybody come July is also going to get another increase in their health insurance costs. They're talking about it. They're laying it out there. They're laying it on Front Street. They're eroding it out. They're not giving you any more, but they're taking it away as much. Two, the other thing that you got to realize is those who hold assets are preparing themselves for the shift, because you can always monetize an asset. You can't monetize a dollar that has that has losing value intrinsic. I'm sorry, a dollar that has originally come from zero, it will return to zero.
It
I'm
always
going to use the word intrinsic because that may be too much. It started at zero, it will return at zero, and it's all based in a trust factor. And unfortunately, trust is running out. Trust is running out the side door quickly. So take it for what you will.
question.
You know,
I
you
gotta
have-
ask a question in this comment because I, honestly speaking, I'm gonna be honest. I want to know who we're talking to in the house. You know, I get all kinds of. I'm a part of different types of groups, and what ends up happening. And I'm not to cut your wisdom, sweetheart. I really don't want to do that. I just need to ask. I need to know who we're dealing with. Who are the people who watch and talk, who listen to this show? Do you know this show is a lifeline to a completely different life, the one you've been asking for? Did you know that? Are you the kind of person that said, God, we need some guidance. I need a new message. I need some new information, something to be different. Are these people, you know, and it's so funny because like I said, I'm part of a lot of communities. Gentlemen that I get messages from put out, he's not looking for good people, he's looking for honest people with good intentions. It's interesting. I'm looking for people who have not only are honest, they have good intentions, but they have a work ethic.
Okay.
I'm not looking for the ones that'll sit down and talk. Show me something. Show me how to lead with something in hand. Show me how to do something that's going to impact my life for the next time I go and try to do this. Because I need a change. I don't need more conversation. I don't need someone to just change my mind. I need my mind to be changed so my hands will be changed and my life will be changed. Does that make sense to you?
Your dollar line needs to be changed up.
Exactly. We realign people with reality because we know that the majority of us have been miseducated and are continuing that same miseducation while we watch the world blow up around us. Everybody seems to go on but us. Well, there's some missing. The missing is your facts. The missing is the facts that you think are the facts.
Your facts may not be the right facts.
Now, just so that you know, we talk about how we have our time and the time of our elders. Well, believe it or not, it was the elders establishing, and think about how much more our families had before this time, where you have a lot more information, more technology, but they have more foundation.
They have basic principles that they resided on.
And when I say more foundation, I'm talking about they own the things. They didn't entrust, we didn't easily entrust as a people. We knew not to entrust institutions with everything we had called survival. But you live your life entrusting institutions to keep their word when you constantly get updates and changes about policy. Come on, somebody, tell me if I'm telling
And
you.
their whole goal is when these updates come through, it should be about the same thing you're about, your bottom line. Because when these transitions come in, they're only concerned with their bottom line. How it affects you doesn't really affect them. It's how they see themselves. Because we talk about it all the time. Banks are a business built on making sure that they keep their doors open.
Yeah, you're a
That's
customer.
it.
You are a customer, just like if you go to a local bodega or a supermarket, you went there for a product and you got it. The product
Yeah.
was a bank account that was to be able to be used to move your finances to another institution so you could live your life. And when I say that, I mean that you can pay your rent, you could pay other people. That's what a bank is for. It is not there to grow your money or make you wealthy. That is not a bank's comfort, a bank's process. Unless you invest in a bank as a member of the board, you are not
Mhm.
funding your bank. You are funding their process without an agreement for payment.
Yep.
So that
Oh, that is so true. So true.
that being the truth, what do you have to do? Today I got so inspired. We're creating. I'm actually home. I'm pulling together a new program for people who need a, I guess, rediscover life. It's mostly built around women who have been through things like domestic violence, and even for men who have been losing, who have lost pretty much everything. But the problem is they didn't lose much of anything when they didn't have a foundation to begin with. And so I'm actually reaching out to nonprofits. I need y'all to hear me right now. If you know of a nonprofit and you know somebody who's running a nonprofit, I need you to sound the alarm with them. Sound the alarm that the government funding that you used to depend on, those grants and all that money, is going to disappear within the next 3 years. Most nonprofits are not able to continue the services or the programs they successfully ran at the level because they're starting to shrink. The budgets are starting to shrink in availability of dollars. The requirements for businesses to even give a damn is starting to shrink. So the businesses, those private endowments and stuff, shrinking. They're not getting bigger. They don't have the requirement anymore. Remember we talked about the wealthy getting tax breaks? Well, guess what? They don't need them. They don't need them as much. That's what that means when the wealthy are getting taxed less and the poor are getting taxed more. Because that's why you used to get grants. You got grants so they could get incentives. They don't have to be incentivized anymore. The rules are changing. Know where you're at. You better know the battlefield, and then you better go get armed properly. And without the people learning to become independent, your nonprofit will close shortly, if it is not already on its way out. Nonprofits require you to or require consistent donations.
Yes, they do.
Where from? You know what I'm saying? In the peanut gallery. Let's talk about it. Where from?
That's funny, you know.
Are losing finances to give you money. That's the same thing going down with churches. Churches will ask you for money. They can't help you recoup.
They have no way of keeping the doors open, let alone recouping.
So the answer for this is you need a new education. Too many people have not done what we said. Read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, because when the king noticed that Babylon had a serious inconsistency of poor to rich, and when they say the richest man, they mean the richest man, because there's always one at the top. And just to let you know, if you don't know what he knows, then you're on the bottom. How many of you want to stay on the bottom? How many of y'all trying to retch up because you start to climb up because you understand this is the bottom and I don't have to be here? There's something out there. There's information. There's something.
The bottom is not required.
So now it's time to stop in your tracks and let everybody know around you. There's a choice. We can be poor together or we can raise wealth because you've seen it done. Seneca.
Look, this is
Oklahoma. Hold up. Oklahoma. Y'all got a bunch of towns that came up, became very, very wealthy. You wonder how they did it? They did it by coming together like we built on P2G. They did it by actually teaching one another and working systems that had changed together. Moving forward, you know what they didn't have that we have now? They didn't have knowledge of what real protection looked like. Well, we got that. My question is, where are you? When we're in those rooms, figuring out the answer to your problems, where are you? Where's the people, where the churches that got this information and this is what's going on in them downstairs back offices? Those little back rooms where you
this should be what they're talking about at Wednesday prayer meeting and all of this is stuff they need to be. And it's fun, you know, it's funny that you think about it. When you think about it, back in the days when prayer meeting was done, it was based around maintaining finances, not in the church, but at your own home. They talked about this stuff. This was conversation for, hey, this is what you need to be doing. And I remember this growing up as a young person, and it hadn't been that in a very long time. So I want you guys to really like she said, grab a hold of your pastor and say, look, let's have a meeting about making sure that our congregation is back in place. And no, this is not a religious conversation. So let me nip that in the butt right there.
Well, I don't have a look. Let me explain something to you. This is an everything conversation. We're gonna stop at that. This is an everything conversation because every single portion of our community needs to be touched. We've got to get to our financial organizations, meaning coming in, the ones that are actually for us. We got to create them again. You know, the Susus beat the banks out at one time.
For a very long time.
To beat the banks out to where the banks could not understand how we ran money through Susus and made everybody have. The only problem with Susus was a trust factor. So the banks beat them out because they had instant trust. What happens when you don't have, when you can have a trustless Susu, when you don't have to worry about trust because everybody got paid? Let's go.
Let's get it.
That was Wednesday night. When you coming to Wednesday? When are we gonna stop being so caught up in ourselves, thinking we know what we know and living like we do, and you don't like how you live? So obviously you don't know what you know. It's time to grow past the mental health issue you have. Because if you think, and I'm gonna be honest, you got a mental health issue. If you think you know enough, but you don't like how you live, those two things don't match.
They do not add up. That's not,
you understand?
You're getting a -1.
So with that, we've got to start opening the doors. Now I want to start talking back. I got to get back to the nonprofit organization. You're gonna need money. Where's it gonna come from? You're gonna need to start putting in real financial. And when I say real financial literacy, I've looked at multiple websites for nonprofits, and they all got the word financial literacy on there, and none of them teach it. I asked about the class. They don't have anybody. You know what the problem is? You're paying for frivolous things that don't lead to long-term outcomes. I have one place that I know that is doing a holistic place, but refuses to do financial literacy in an effective way. You can't get people started on something. You can't get them on their feet if you only get them halfway. So once you fix the mind and you clear up that emotional self, we clear out the emotions to the problem that keeps bringing them down. That's one. Let's talk about the re-entry. People coming in from jail. What did you expect them to do? People coming in from jail. What are they supposed to do when they get out of jail? They got a record.
And you know,
ain't nobody hiring. If you without a record can't get a job, tell me about a prisoner somebody former inmate coming out into the world with new technology they don't understand. Where's their training? Where's the funding to get them to become what do they call it? Successful in society.
It's called a Second Life Citizen.
But there's Second Life Citizen programs is okay. We're gonna get you a job. Doing what? Mopping? There's but so many janitors in the world can happen. There's but so much to do. When you get the proper education, and when I say proper, I'm talking about financial literacy. Honey, you know how to read, you know how to write, right? The basics. If you don't know how to read, don't worry, you can learn. Yep. If you don't know how to write, don't worry, you can learn. But you got to be, like I said, I'm not looking for good people. I'm looking for honest people with integrity. And guess what else? The will to do the work. You're going to have to put some fire under your tail. You're going to have to do something, follow some instructions. That's my biggest issue, though. With my learners and with our learners, we have a hard time following word for word instructions that from successful people. How many of us just listen to hear until it's time for us to talk? Ask yourself this.
Just let me get your brain is already on. When are we done here? Let me just get to the end of this so I can get on to the next thing.
What if I told you you missed it completely? You missed the whole conversation. You missed the magic. The magic in a conversation is hearing someone else's words and getting the world of another person, not your own. Not giving your world, but getting the world. You miss gifts in this world because you've not been trained to listen properly, to hear the gifts given to you, and to know what your usefulness is. You know how a billionaire sneaks up on the elevator and just listens, sits in the back and listens, and can judge everybody in the room by exactly how they speak. and how they listen to one another. And that is how they make the decision who they're going to be involved with. They don't waste time on people. They don't even train people. You got to be able to hear them for them to train you so they don't waste their breath. I do the same thing. I have folks that are they're adamant about getting this, so they keep in touch and they want to be, they at every meeting, I'm like, come to class, going to sign up. Let's figure it out. We done created ways for y'all to get it done so you can be in class. But my question is
planning and systems.
Yeah. We created not only incentive, but we created a way for you to get there. My question is when are you going to focus on getting the information you need to go to the next level? Because I keep hearing about how people are so busy. You know why your life is falling apart? All because you didn't take the time to do this before. Now your life is falling apart. Now things are going bad. Now something has they did this happen. Well, how many times have you heard us say that? That's going to happen. Excuse my language, but shit happens all the time. It doesn't happen on your schedule.
Not.
The beautiful thing about it is you could already be ready for it and not even have it affect you.
Shit and Murphy are the same two people. So get with the program. You already know what's coming. You know Murphy's going to be around the corner for something, and then something's going to happen. And guess what? If you already got your hand on the pulse of what's going, you're ready. You know, we talk about this. We say it a lot when we have a conversation. When you're the one who everyone knows the information, and you have been preparing, and things get dark, you don't want to be the only one in that area with that information because you're not safe anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been sharing with you guys every day, every week, every Wednesday. We put a program together that's called, it's not Working Out Wednesday, I'm sorry, but the Wednesday Community Action Meeting. And we tell you, come to class. It is a conversation for you to get your questions answered. I know you don't go through the whole week thinking that where you at is perfectly fine and there's nothing going on. But then you get around people that you know, like, oh man, the economy is kicking my butt. The gas prices are going up. The food prices are going up. Insurance is going up. And where is the relief coming? Bring it with you to Wednesday, 8:00. How many times are we going to say this?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, when we can't grab you by your feet and drag you into the room. That's not what's going to happen.
That's not what's going to happen, baby.
You ain't going to listen.
No.
You got to be willing to come because you want to come because you know there's something more.
I'm not your mama.
There's something more. And all of us got, like she said, we all got moms. I want you to think, has there been a conversation that your mom put in your head all of a sudden came back to reality and you're like, damn.
My mother
just listen.
My mother lives rent-free in my head, y'all. And she been gone for 10 years.
Let me tell you, the door is open. You just got to walk through. We're telling you, let me get this up here. Wednesday community meeting. QR code is available. The link is up at the top. The only thing is stopping you is clicking a button.
Actually, the only thing stopping you is you, and you got to figure out why you keep stopping. You got to start
stopping at the door.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we do Mental Wellness Monday, because we realize that there's something stopping you all. There's something holding you back. And when ain't nothing holding you back, you can have anything you want, especially with not only the information, but the resources to get that done. Not only that, with the resources, how about with this skill set introduced, the step-by-step. Now you got all of this. Where you at? You know what I'm saying? Where else is this happening in your life? Where else is this a reality? Does that make sense to anybody? Because I'm be honest, if you ain't living that reality anywhere else, why aren't you at P2G where that's taking place in reality? Or are you stuck on these blocks, these boxes? Are you stuck in the boxes that tell you, hey, it's a great show. Thank y'all. Y'all did a good job. All right. But
We don't need clapping monkeys. We need people who's got boots on the ground ready to run.
you got to realize while you're clapping for us and we're doing a great job, you're not getting serviced. And I'm not talking about the ones that show up. I'm talking about the ones who are, I mean, they give us great accolades, and I'm not saying don't do that. I'm saying thank you, but we're missing you in the community. You are what's missing, and you are welcome. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I want to let y'all know this ain't about me. Oh, my bad. You guys are getting terrible visual. All
You
right.
okay?
No. There's something happened with my computer and it's popped up. They're getting a bad visual in one of our streamers. So I want to get back. This is not for, we are not here to lecture you. We're here to share with you that, oh my God, the world is changing and it's actually a good thing. While it's looking like they're taking stuff away, there's stuff that's been added you can take advantage of. It is actually good for you. While you're talking about, oh, Donald Trump this, don't ask yourself what left. Ask yourself what showed up. Who is it meant to benefit and how do you get like that? We got to stop being in argument mode and get back to being in militant mode. You know what the new movement is? It's no longer opposition. It's adaptation to the new future. Now, which includes you because they can't stop you if they wanted to.
And that is actually a great place to come, an adaptation, because things are moving so fast. Things are changing over the course of every day to day. You have to actually take the ability to make a move for yourself. You have to move when it's time. And sometimes you don't get the opportunity to do it twice sometimes. So when we share with you, like during the holidays, politics doesn't take a day off.
So
when we tell you businesses don't take a day off, we're telling you because it's always in motion. There's always changes happening. And either you're a part of the change or you're the collateral for the change. And that's a real thing.
So, Mr. Thomas, I always like to do, when we do get Pay It Forward Friday, we got to pay it forward. The information is not just that. You said something that's very, very vitally crucial, and that has to do with holidays. How you spend your holidays is up to you. You can spend them eating, talking frivolous, complaining and arguing, or you can plan the next time that you are off from your job to be game planning with your family members and the people that you care about. You can actually come together. Y'all can break bread, no alcohol. Sit down and start talking about how to game plan the next recession, the next couple of years of recession. How you start sitting down talking about the stuff you've heard about and start finding out who is out here. Start locating your allies because you're going to need them. Start locating the people who are going to help game plan you into success. Don't go chill because they're on Capitol Hill changing the rules around how you live. That's what they use those holidays for. Capitol Hill is making rules while you are eating, y'all having your barbecue and eating potato salad. Chilling, complaining.
They'll eat potato salad after 4 o'clock.
Let me just explain. Mr. Thomas. He's so silly. Anyway, what I'm saying is it's time for us to stop. We got to start utilizing our time properly because you don't have it to spare. The day is over. Game is up. It is already we are already on the field. Y'all keep thinking we're getting ready for a game. The game has been going on for longer than you know. And the question is where are you in it? Ask yourself. That's not me asking you, just so that you know. I have nothing to do with where you are in the game. My goal and my props, and it's so interesting, I only care about my students, where they're going. I don't care about the circumstances. And like I say, I only care about my students. I'm going to be really honest. What I do is for the students. The people who decide to put themselves back into life, who need that second win to find out what's going on. Yes, they're afraid of technology. They got some fears, but they're willing to do something as long as somebody who knows is willing to step up with them. I can only support you. I can't make it happen for you. My teachers, we got your back. My educators, we got your back. And it's so crazy. I know you're struggling, but you're struggling on limited information. Your facts are they're too small. You've gotten a curriculum that keeps people small, believe it or not. That 1 through 12, the K through 12 it's actually a curriculum for keeping you small. Then when you matriculate up to college, it actually traps you in a box of corporate control.
Go ahead.
It slaps a bill on your back and keeps you working the machine. But see, my question is why do they get to do this? Because too many of us aren't telling each other that there's a way out. So it becomes the norm you're stuck in. And it ain't even about you. Well, I went to do this, that, and the other. So what? You know, laws are made on majority, right? So if you didn't do anything about shifting the majority mentality, you got stuck where you said you didn't want to be because you didn't do anything about it. That's how actually politics works. Politicians don't have and I'm gonna be honest, I am not telling you there's nothing wrong with politics. It's part of the world, it's how it works. There are people, not all politicians at all levels are not active. I'm gonna be very honest. We got a young lady who's been kicking butt since day one. I'm all about the active politician. Show me the militant politician. I don't care, Democrat, Republican. If you believe what you believe and you done did the work so your people get what they get, and that's happening, I'm all for it. But the bottom line,
grind it.
I'm all for it. But the bottom line is, if you don't get up off your tail and you keep needing them, that particular process will change. They'll go back out there for themselves because y'all are laying around and they ain't got enough support. That you'll switch that. Them helping you to them helping themselves. That's what we've been seeing.
That's called accountability.
So if you want the accountability of somebody else, you've got to be working and moving yourself. And that means that you can't be dependent on some politician to keep you fed. Because if you depend on them to feed you, you damn sure are allowing them to starve you and your baby.
And they will gladly do it and keep themselves afloat.
Sweetie, let me tell you, you have an opportunity to learn new skills with the current digital finances. They are not. I wish I didn't have to read this morning because I always try to get my information updated. They're now shutting down. Now, I had the biggest argument because New York is so cut off around digital finance as far as crypto and stuff. It's like we got a big padlock on us. I'm like, man, I'm glad for the DeFi, decentralized stuff. But man, that whole being able to do ATMs, exchanges are limited for New York. Even on my IP, let me explain this. Let me share this with all of you. They are now shutting down ATMs. So there is no transacting ATMs. You can't put and get crypto through an ATM. That was your freedom. So now you got New Jersey. These are the borders around me, New Jersey and Delaware. They're putting together. And you know what they're framing it around? Oh, how much fraud through the ATMs. You know what that comes from? It's not fraud. The ATMs aren't causing fraud. The ATMs are just like all of the other pathways. Banks used to have bank withdrawals. Checks they ain't stopped checks.
Yep.
They ain't stopped checks.
Nope. You can still write a check.
But you know why? They will shut down an ATM because there's no regulating company that says that you can't put your finances into an ATM and it go off to your unrelated account. Untaxable because you just bought an asset, but you didn't have to declare it until you spend it.
Yep.
You actually trade it.
And they can't track that.
Chris said that he just got a bank shut down across the street from him. I told you it's gonna happen, baby. It's gonna happen. It's changing. Now my question is what you doing about it? Now that everything is changing, what to do about it? Like we just said, this might be the picture. This might be the picture. Y'all seeing all of this percent? That's fear and FOMO. This is all people selling their assets because gold is going down. I gotta sell it before it hit the ground. Oh, crypto going down. I gotta sell it. Oh, the market's going down. Let me sell. You didn't lose until you sold. It's these people in the back. Y'all see them people in the back there? When this happens, everybody that's still here in the front is going to make it. Y'all know that, right?
Say that again one more time, babe.
Let's talk about it. So everybody who decides to sell because the price is going down, because that's called FOMO, fear of missing out. Oh my God, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose. They sold, and so this tsunami, and that's the selling is the tsunami you see building. Anyone with account still open will have the benefit of all of these things.
When it floods back in.
Everybody's still holding their buckets. They're gonna receive. They're gonna receive. Everybody's still holding on to their boats, their lifeboats. And trust, believe me, they ain't saving your life. That's the billionaires in the country. They're showing you the shell game that is, hey, it's all going here. Don't worry. I used to call it the rope-a-dope. They start winding up on this side, but then they come and they uppercut you with the left. Know why? Because they know that's what you do. It's called distraction. And people in our communities are easily distracted. Are you willing to put down the distractions long enough to be able to get in and do something about it?
That includes the, what do you call that? The scrolling?
Death scroll.
Death scroll.
You know how I know? Because I've done it. I'm actually retraining my brain to get out the death scroll. It's not easy, but you can. You can break it. You have to learn to control your technology. We have a program that we've been getting involved with, helping people to build from the ground up. Starts at $11, but you can build as much as you want. If you're willing to help somebody other than your damn self, you will have more finances than you ever have seen. You'll be able to collect this asset that's growing, that's actually reducing to grow again. Oh yeah. You'll hear people talking about they're selling their gold and silver and their Bitcoin. Don't you ever get it twisted. Don't believe the hype. Those are headlines for purpose. If you run after the headlines, you are running after old information.
Old information, bad news.
Bad news. But we're going to teach you. P2G has joined up with the HERO program, helping everyone remove obstacles. That's what HERO stands for. And the Solarium Life program. I'm loving it. It's a way for us to get together and do powerful, powerful things to not only create finances, but now how about you earn assets as opposed to dollars that die? Anybody earn some assets to see your bank account go up because, or I should say your DeFi account go up because you're now doing the work that gets you paid. My question to my business owners, why aren't y'all getting paid assets for if they could get gold and silver for their products and goods, why are you not getting assets? You could have did that all the time. There's no law needs to be changed for that. Wow, right?
There is none.
To get for your goods and services, people have crypto. Y'all know a lot of more people got crypto now. Why you don't accept crypto in your business? Because you don't know how. I got all these people who talk about, I'm scared. I could lose. I could lose out. Crypto goes down.
Crypto is one way.
Wait. Hold on a second. That's because you don't know what to do with it. That's like having money come into your business account through the payment system and you never remove it because you didn't know what to do with it. You would always know how to go in the bank account and remove the money. But that's the argument. People think that it's their fear or their lack of knowledge. It's just that
it's their comfortability because they were trained in a process that says this is how business is done. It's done only in fiat, and this is all that the bank represents. Because they can't get more debt if they got fiat that's in assets, but they don't realize that when you're using assets, that is the biggest leverageable thing you can have when you have a business. Assets are leverageable, far beyond what you can do with what you leverage or your debt processes. And your FICO score FICO and other stuff don't matter. Don't matter.
So my question is if you have private equity, and that's what we're talking about. If you have private equity, why are you worrying about a FICO score or a credit score? That is what you need to be working to build. That is what we all need to be remembering. I get paid in crypto. I accept cryptocurrency. In a heartbeat, I will accept cryptocurrency. Why? Fast, permanent. I don't have to worry about anybody canceling the payment.
Yep.
And did you know that you can get gold and silver for cryptocurrency? Yes.
Yes.
There are people selling real gold and silver for cryptocurrency. So how is it not real?
Oh, I'm sorry.
And that's why I keep telling people, I say, okay, fine. Let's just share this with them. Okay, Mr. Thomas, that's excited. He's excited. But like I said, I'd rather show you than tell you. As you can see, it says
Getting gold 1 gram at a time, yo. All
right, Mr. Thomas. I got to pull it in because this, like I said, this program is sponsored by a couple of programs that we promote right now, and we are making sure people get. Not that one, not that one, that one. I love it. Why? Because since I became part of At Cost Metals, it has been it's actually been quite an experience for me.
It's been an education.
Yes, it has been an education because I used to go to places like this. I would always be on places like this, which is close and local to my community. Then you have JM Bullion. I had 5 different major retailers that I would only do business with. Well, can't say I don't do business with my other people, but this one pays me to talk about, and it's competitive in price. So I get a better price. I get more of what I'm looking for in the same exact, and these are all the same exact products as they have on all the other sites.
Babe, you know you're showing the bullion exchange, right?
Oh no, I did not know. Hold on a second. My bad. So let's take it out of here.
That's for research.
Yeah, that's my research site. So let me give you the right site. Sorry about that, guys. And thank you for saying that. So I don't play that. Okie dokie. There we go. Is that better?
That works.
So then I find out what the price of gold and silver is today. I was looking and I'm always going back and forth because I teach this. I teach people how to research this stuff. We're not going to just talk to you. We don't talk. We actually have workshops and master classes. So with that, we teach you not only how to do your research, how to compare pricing, how to find great resources, ones that have great integrity and for a long time. We also help you find ones with real suppliers in your neighborhood. Ain't that crazy? You have these websites all get their supplies from somewhere. So if I'm on JM Bullion, I can probably help you find an entire map on the entire United States where they're getting their gold and silver from, delivered directly to you from home. So it doesn't have to come across the country anymore. You got me?
Exactly.
When I come to
local distributors,
absolutely love At Cost Metals because my membership, I have a membership. I got one that lasts a long time. I'm used to Costco's, and I did the math on this, so I know that there's a great, I get a great change in, a boost for doing this. This isn't an At Cost Metals conversation. This is just me teaching you something today because we used to pay it forward Friday. If you want to find out about At Cost Metals, you can I'll give you the membership information. You guys can get your own account, take a look, and start doing the comparison for yourself. It's an open account that you can have. They now have membership free of cost, and just come in. They're just different prices. Like if you go to Costco's, you got the Costco's price and you got the member price. So if you're getting the non-member price compared to other non-member prices, simple as that. Told y'all was gonna get something. Come on, baby, let's go.
You never leave Friday empty-handed. You never leave Friday empty-handed.
So I love it. I love it. So these were $61 last week. I'm so mad at myself. But I'm so proud of all that I have been doing previous to. Because everything that I have done has paid off. And it is paying off. Because like you said, the world is shifting into this. And as you hear more stories about things like people coming in, states allowing for the trade in gold and silver. And don't get it twisted, silver too, y'all. Silver too. Places that will hold your bullion will also hold your gold as well. Your gold and your
will.
Okay.
And one of the things we wanted to get, and I know we kind of went over it really quick. Notice they talking about when it's time for you to, if they have the option to call for the gold reappropriation process.
Yeah.
And they're gonna put your gold inside of a vault in each state. and give you a credit card to move it. Now, I ain't telling anybody anything, but you understand, if you don't hold it, you don't own it.
So
And if
you,
it's in their account, it's theirs now.
right. And you have to, it's no different than your money. Keep in mind, they just did it with money. They just showed you with money that you don't own it. You don't custody your money. And as long as it's sitting in someone else's vault, they custody it and they give you access to value. That is it. So it's no better than being an ETF. Same process.
We just heard about a bank shutting down live.
Yes. Now I'm gonna just go, I'm gonna take it a little further so that we can talk about it. What's missing that we put back in is a strategy. So in that, we want you to come and join us because we have strategy conversations on Wednesday. We have presentations for different ways to create income, but we have strategy conversations for part of Wednesdays. We get a lot done on our Wednesdays. It's 2 hours, in the evening on Wednesday, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. You can see it down there on the bottom. 8 p.m. on Wednesday, this is the link for the Zoom. It happens to be that QR code, and the Zoom link is at the top. If you look on the top of the computer in the picture, that is the ID and code to get in on Wednesdays.
Yes, it is.
So if you are looking for something, and yes, oh my God, he said we talked about copper, and yes, copper is still a very valuable ore. Okay, it's a valuable metal to have and collect. My people, we get, if you understand, to understand, you have to find out why they use it, how it's used. So that's the value. Copper has gone up, and I remember when I started collecting coppers, they were $1.59 an ounce. Every one of my coppers is now worth $6.50.
That's wow.
And it's only been 5 years. I haven't been collecting since I was for the last 20 years. A lot of you got copper sitting in I'm not even giving the gold class and the metals class right now. Come and join us, and when we do our next metals class, like we did a New Year's metals class, we're going to do a new metals class following, so that this and the master class for this month, Mr. Thomas, did you have that one? We have
no, I don't have the master class for this month.
Of this month. Okay.
You have to pull it up.
Class coming up on the 27th of this month for all the this. I love it. Hold on a second, I got you. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
We have a masterclass notice. Masterclass is when we go in and we take everybody step by step through the process of how to do something new with technology, cryptocurrency, metals, gold, you name it. If it has to do with you learning hands-on, it is a $49, basically $50, helps you to donate to the platform so that we can create a free class for children at the end of the summer. We're going to be doing crypto kids at the end of the summer, and you business owners, and even you people who want to just learn how to manage these finances for yourself, are going to help us fund a class for children. Yes, your children. We'll have literally a 20-ticket class for the end of August. Before September, school comes back in. They're going to get gaming, they're going to get small business development, and they're going to get how money works. So this all needs funding because we fund ourselves, don't we? We don't have grants. We are the ones who grant. And if you want the value of, can you pay for your class? You help to build a free class for kids. So come on in. Make sure you get on the platform. I believe it's up right now. I'll just check because we have certain people working on our platform. There is the masterclass that comes up on the 27th of the month. It's going to be literally a 3-hour session. I will unfortunately, we cannot take 100 people, but we can get up to 30 people on the platform. It is hands-on. We will be sending anyone. You have to buy your ticket in advance. In order to be in, we'll show you how to download. You're going to learn how to set up the apps you need, market your strategy. If you have a marketing strategy for being able to let people know that your business is now taking crypto directly, and you'll learn about the top 5 coins all businesses need to accept in order to quit business without worrying about losing value. Is that something of value? I'm going to ask my people. Y'all can put a yes, say yes, put it up, give me a clap your hands, whatever it is. Let us know if that has value for your business. If you want to start collecting assets for your services and goods and learn how to do it right off the top of your, whether you're on your phone or even on your countertop, because now you can do it on the countertop and see that you got paid. It doesn't matter if you brick and mortar or if you, but the thing is, I'm going to teach you how to get rid of the cash middleman and be able to run this game up however you choose. Let's go. Let's go. This is the longest class we've ever done. And we're going to have a ball because you're going to leave with the tools in hand and able to just, you'll be doing the business right then. You got me? Let's go.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Thank you, Grand Rising, sis, brother. Thank you so much, Chris. And we got some folks out here. Let's give some love. We had Black Casper on. We had a few people that were on coming in through. Miss Hilda, we see you, Mama. Thank you. Miss Divine, Suki. We got our girl in the house. Yes, we do. Miss Life up in the house. We have definitely Miss Faye Harris out there in the Kellys.
West Coast champion.
I'm talking about out in the Kellys. I'm talking about that's the New Yorker on the west side. That's what I'm talking about. She on the West Coast, but she always East Coast heart. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of folks coming out. My brother Chris is out there in the B more doing his damn thing. I am not lying. That's a working brother, so you know he making money, make money. He got to know how to money. If you gonna work hard for it, you better not be the only one working. Y'all money work 24 hours. Which one y'all want working? Y'all get me? You get where I'm coming from? Money don't sleep, and it has no pit. So let's go. I'm excited. I really am. Okay. So we are also doing a push. We're filling up our summer schedule. A lot of people. Y'all know our Wednesdays are for interviews. If you would like to be on, if you would like to come in and register to have your business on P2G's Breakfast with Thomas's, I want you to get in touch with us. You can go to P2G.com. Okay. Go to the website.
We'll put you in.
We got your back. We will get you started. And we'll get you signed up so that you can do what you do best. Share what you're up to. Share your purpose and your reasons for wanting to see what you do out here in this world. Remember, the goal is to acquire, build, and protect. That's what we're going to teach you to do. Y'all are good at acquiring. Some of y'all are good at building, but not all of y'all have protected everything from everywhere. And you can't know that by yourself. And that's one of the things. Safety comes in that think tank that we got to get. So come join us. We're about to pop off, babies. Got to get the day started. It's Friday and we got work to do. I'll see you soon. Love y'all.
Oh, love it, love it, love it.
Ooh. Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. See you. Wake up and rise, open your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental wellness.